great transition to Nicolas, who I think is going to talk about some of these tastes, some which are controversial, like offal, I think you might be mentioning, and you kind of pepper too, so go ahead.
Yeah. Hi everyone, I'm Nicolas. I'm the Director of Marketing Automations and Sales Development at Tastewise. I've been at the company for a year, my first time in a forum like this, surrounded by experts in the field, so bear with me. I'm going to be talking a little bit about how we can leverage artificial intelligence to understand what consumers are demanding today and how we can help the food and beverage industry, and also how we can help CPGs and food producers to reduce waste while still being able to feed more and more people each year. So we at Tastewise, we are a specific food and beverage company. We have an AI model that is trained specifically for this subject. We also have a team both in the GTM part and the technical part that comes from the food and beverage world that are experts on the field, and we are already working with some of the biggest brands in the food and beverage world. So to understand a little bit about our consumers, we need to understand also about our industry and about the big trends that are affecting our world. Why? Because these huge trends are also affecting the way people is making choices in their day-to-day life. So we cannot expect to keep understanding our consumers in a traditional way, because making questions, doing focus groups, and conducting surveys is already in the past, and we need to think forward how we can reach out to all these people, and that's why we are implementing AI to help us with this. So now to give a little bit about perspective on our consumers, right? Let's take a look at the history in the last few years. So consumers' needs and consumer interests are changing in a velocity that the industry can't keep up with, right? Maybe in the year 2000, we had a few TV shows, maybe billboards in the street. We saw some celebrities sharing a cupcake in a late-night show, and the day after that, there were no more cupcakes in the grocery stores. That's how trends were set. 2012, we have the rise of social media, influencers, people starting to share a little bit more about what they do. 2017, explosion of food delivery apps. If before I had to take my car or walk a few blocks to go to a restaurant and order the same food, now at the tip of my finger, I have plenty of restaurants and options, so consumers are getting more exposure, and they have like already more to choose from. 2020, we all became influencers. We're all stuck at home. We're all sharing in social media what we were cooking, what we were eating, how that made us feel. And in 2021, we already had hundreds and trillions and billions of data points. Just so you know, in a study made by Forbes, 90% of the whole data that there's today was created only in the last 2 years. So 2023, we have the AI boom, right? We are today in the era of it's complicated, it's very hard, our consumers are getting their expectations higher, their motivations are higher, and we need to keep up with their needs. If 5 years ago, for example, you would look for health as a trend, you could see that the trend of health as a trend was rising or was declining. Today it changed. Today, if we look for health as a concept, we might see that health is declining. But why is that? It's not because people is not interested in that anymore. It's because people today is looking into more specific things. They are looking into gut health. They are looking into hair and nails health. So consumers are becoming more and more sophisticated, and we need to come up with ways of meeting them where they are, right? So this is the hard part. How can we make sure that we are meeting our consumers when they are, and how can we make sure that we are giving them the needs that they have? So that's why we are implementing artificial intelligence, and that's why it's very important to use this technology to meet our consumers where they are. So how do we do that? How can we meet them there? We need to look at different data sources, right? So we need to look at what they are eating in their homes, what they are eating at restaurants, what are they commenting in social media, what they are sharing. We need to understand what item is popular on a menu in a restaurant, what item is less popular. We need to understand what's trending right now in social media, what has been trending already for a long time, and what is just a fad. So that's what we are trying to accomplish with Tastewise. That's what we are trying to do with our customers. And now I would like to share a few of the predictions that we have made for 2024. So we have a full report. We have 8 main predictions. There will be a QR code at the end of the presentation if you want to scan it and look at everything. I'm going to focus on 3 right now. So the first one is indulgent and affordable dishes. People is looking to, our consumers are not willing to sacrifice their satisfaction over affordability. They still want to feel indulged by eating in a cost-effective way. So what are we seeing in this affordability and the indulgence spike? We look at the protein category because it's the main category when we look at on-the-plate food. And what we see is that people is looking into different type of meats, right? We see gizzard rising, we see feet, liver. And the most interesting thing is that we see in indulgent preparations that offal is rising by 28% year over year. How does this look on the plates, right? So we need to contextualize our data as well. So we see a lot that people right now is changing chicken breast over chicken liver. Why? Because they still get their proteins and it's cost effective. We see a lot of people right now trying chicken hearts. They are nutrient packed, they are mild flavor, and they are sustainable, right? We can minimize the waste and maximize the nutrition. That is a little bit what we were all discussing today. So that's one of the trends that we are looking today, is that we are going to see people turning into organ meats, into chicken hearts, chicken livers. They are budget friendly and they are more healthy. The next trend that we see is the guajillo pepper, right? When we look at the spicy categories, more specifically, what are the chili peppers that are rising right now? We see guajillo. When people is looking at spices, they look for authenticity, they look for uniqueness, and they look for premium. So this is why people is turning into guajillo, because guajillo pepper is authentic, is unique, and is premium. We also see a few ways that people is using guajillo in their day-to-day, in their recipes. They are making it stewed, roasted, blended. A tip from us is to keep an eye on Mexican salsas, mainly the salsa macha, which features guajillo pepper, as it helps enhance rich meat dishes. The last trend that I'm going to share is the Southeast Asian flavors that are taking the center of the stage. We see a huge increase in social discussion about adventurous, unique, and creative ways of eating. If we look at them separately, they might not tell us anything, but when we look at them together, they tell us something. What do people do when they are looking for creative, unique, and adventurous way of eating? They usually turn around to another cuisine. So a very nice way, an easy way to introduce consumers to new flavors and unique and exciting flavors is through the alcoholic and frozen desserts category. So in the context of frozen desserts, we see how, for example, fusion is off the charts, and people is looking more into the Southeast kitchen and flavors. So I'm going to share with you a few of the flavors that you should keep an eye on for next year. We had the red bean, because of its sweetness and slightly nutty. We have the pandan coconut, which is sweet, creaminess, and is also growing. And the last one is the calamansi, with it's tart and tangy. So just to summarize a little bit, at the end of the day, all of this is just a small taste of what we are doing, of what can be done with artificial intelligence. We need to look at it from the big category as a funnel, right? We understand that people is looking into spices. That's amazing. But now, thanks to artificial intelligence, we can drill down onto what are they specifically looking when they are eating spicy food. What is the pepper that they want to eat? How they are consuming it, when they are consuming it, why they are consuming it. So this is what we are trying to establish. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nicolas. Thanks so much.